We're back to the Jesus tree. Can you guess who it is we're talking about today? Yes, Daniel. Let's put the picture on the tree. The story of Daniel is one of great loyalty in difficult circumstances. Remember, Daniel, before he goes to the lion's den, his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have already survived in a burning furnace because God has sent an angel to protect them. But as Daniel's influence grows under the king Nebuchadnezzar, as Daniel gives him wise advice and helps him to prosper and interprets dreams for him, it seems that his advice has been so good the king wants to place him over the entire kingdom. And there are administrators and others working for the king who are not at all happy. And so it is, they persuade the king to make a decree, not any old decree, but a decree under the law of the Medes and Persians, meaning that not even the king himself can overturn the law that is being made. And that law declares that only worship of the king is permissible. Anyone who bows down to worship anyone else can be put to death. And yet when Daniel hears of that law, he goes back to his house, kneels and prays. And so it is, the king has no option but to have Daniel brought before him and to be thrown to the lions. But of course, this is a wonderful Sunday school story, and I'm not going to sing the song, but we know that when Daniel goes in, God sends his angel to close the lion's mouth. And so it is that when Daniel comes out whole, untouched, it says this, the king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be lifted from the den. Not a scratch was found on him, for he had trusted in his God. Then the king gave orders to arrest the men who had maliciously accused Daniel. And they met not such a pleasant end, thrown to the lions, who of course were doubly hungry by then. And yet in the story of Daniel, as we think about Lent, there is more to be understood. If we turn to Daniel chapter 7, there is a title used about the Son of Man. And this is a prophetic title that is vitally important as we understand Jesus and his ministry in the Gospels. For it is the title Jesus used of himself more than any other title. It is a title only used of Jesus, Son of Man. And while it was prophetic in Daniel, take a look at Daniel chapter 7. Read what it says, because actually, although we often think about it as speaking of Jesus and his humanity, it is so much more. It is the point at which we are being pointed forward to Jesus' ministry, to Jesus coming to put into place all that is necessary for God's plans to be executed and completed. The Son of Man is going to rescue humankind. We'll come closer to the Easter story as time goes on. But take a look at the story of Daniel. Take a look at Daniel chapter 7. See how it points forward to Jesus and his ministry. And my Lenten thought is this: where would you place yourself in Daniel's story? Could you have undergone the rigors of living in the king's court, following orders, being loyal to the king, but at the same time primarily being loyal to your own God, no matter what? Is there anything as you go through Lent that maybe you need to think about just placing second to God for a moment, for a time, for a season? Having a social media fast. Fasting is a part of Lent, giving up meals to spend time thinking about our relationship with God. As you read the story of Daniel, is there anything that God is putting on your heart and mind that maybe, just maybe, distracts you more than it should from paying attention to God Himself? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.